Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be testing out a few new products. I picked up the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Palette. I also have the Tower 28 concealer and a bunch of other new goodies. So if you're interested in seeing me apply and test out these new makeup, then just keep on watching. All right, y'all, let's get into this makeup. I'm starting with the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Poreless Primer. I've used this a few times before and I already have thoughts about this. I really enjoy this primer. It reminds me of the Tatcha Silk, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer from Tatcha, which this is supposed to be the dupe for. But not only that, it also reminds me of the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. If you know anything about me, you know that I love that Danessa Myricks primer. And this e.l.f. one, I think it was about like $10. And it is amazing. So now that we're all prepped and primed, let's go in with my other new product for this video, and it is the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Pencil in Deep Brown. I'm trying something new today by doing my brows before foundation. I don't think the precision is there for this. I still feel like I would have to go in with a different type of pencil to get that precise line underneath my brow. For my complexion, I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blur Skin Tint Foundation. And I have a full video on this already, but I figured, you know, I don't have another new foundation product, so I'm just gonna use this again. If you want to see my initial thoughts on this foundation, I'll link it in the cards right here. I have the shade 21. I have been loving this foundation stick so far. It is super creamy. It is easy to apply, easy to blend, and it is just so, it's carefree. I use it like on days where I just need to get up and go because it's so easy to blend. The coverage is there and it wears well throughout the day. All right, y'all, now this concealer has been making its round on YouTube and I just felt like I needed to try it. This is the Tower 28 Swipe Serum Concealer. It says this weightless serum concealer has the power to visibly cover dark circles, hyperpigmentation, and redness. It's designed for sensitive skin. The non-irritating formula helps to hydrate and smooth textured skin without silicones. It's medium buildable coverage with a natural finish. I picked mine up in the shade 14 PV. I'm so excited to try this concealer because the last concealer I tried was a miss. That Makeup by Mario concealer, as much as I wanted to love that concealer, it did not work for me, okay? I had to get rid of the concealer. It just kept creasing on me. Everything I tried with it, it creased on me. So right off the bat, I can tell you this concealer is super lightweight. This has a liquidy formula. Because this concealer is so liquidy, I feel safe to let it sit, let it dry down a little bit before I blend it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. The concealer had some time to dry down a little bit while I applied my cream bronzer. If you guys are interested in seeing all the products I used on my face today, it will be linked in the description box for you below. So I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Mini Base brush to blend out this concealer. So even with letting this concealer sit on my face for a while, it is blending out effortlessly. The shade is beautiful. I like this shade of this concealer. It's not too light, but it's giving me a brightening effect. I don't think that was one of the claims I read on the box for this concealer, but it's definitely brightening. It's definitely giving me medium coverage. So this is what my face is looking like with the concealer all blended out. So far, I'm loving it. And so far, very minimal creasing, which is a plus for me. Now let's go ahead and set this concealer with some powder. You guys have seen me use this before, but this has been my absolute favorite. It is the Hourglass Veil setting powder. So the next new product I'm trying out in this video is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. I have the shade Berry Punch. It's a pretty magenta color. I think it's applying very well. It's not picking up my makeup underneath, which is a good sign. It's pretty. It's pretty. Now let's get into the whole reason for this video. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Palette. I have no clue how this is gonna work on my skin tone because looking at her, she's a little, you know, the matte shades in here, they're definitely more on the medium light side. It's given ash, but I'm gonna try my best. Let's see how this works for my skin tone. I'm gonna start with the shade Vague. I'm using this as a transition shade. It has a pink undertone. It is definitely visible. It's not the brightest, it's not pigmented, but right off the bat, I can tell you that this palette for me is already going to be a one-trick pony. And the reason for that is there is only one deep shade in the palette that's gonna work for my skin tone. So any depth that I wanna add to this eye look, I have to use the shade Silhouette. So right now, I'm just gonna, in the outer crease, I'm going in with Silhouette. Like I mentioned, it's literally the only shade we can use to deepen up the eye look from this palette. So we got Filgari, Ella, and Delilah. I guess we're going with Filgari. And I think on the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with Delilah. Delilah is very much so feeling like a topper shade, but the pigment is there. Wow. This must be the new formula. I'm gonna say Delilah is the new formula because I haven't tried anything like this from Natasha Denona. I'm gonna use a little bit of fair on my brow bone just to highlight it. Before this, I went in with Silhouette, and I'm just gonna blend out the edges with Vague. Let's get into the final new product I'm trying for this video. If you wanna know the lashes and everything else I did off camera, they will be listed in the description box below. But now I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna finish up this look with my SAIE Glossy Bounce Hydrating Lip Oil. This is a hybrid like lip gloss lip oil formula. I got mine in the shade Dip. It has a nice thick applicator, just like I like it. It's not too pigmented. I don't like the smell of this. Oh my God. It smells rancid. But it feels good on the lip, but the smell is atrocious. All right, guys, so here's the final look. What do you think? What do you think? I have thoughts. The first one being, she's cute. Let's do a little recap of the new products I tried today. Starting with, let's try to go in order. So let's start with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. It definitely has a soft matte finish. It's not drying on the skin. Everything I use on top of it, it lasts all day. My skin right now looks beautiful, and granted, like the primer has something to do with it. This primer is only $10. You can get it from Ulta, Target, in the drugstore, and it is amazing. Next, I used the Rare Beauty brow pencil. I like the way my brows turned out. I like the shade. It's a brow pencil. There's not too much to say about it. One thing I can say is that I do like the shade. I like the formula on the pencil. You don't have to apply too much pressure to get the product to apply to your brows. And it's also not too soft to where you're just filling in your brows and it's breaking. So that's one plus I would say about the Rare Beauty brow pencil. But yeah, I like it. I wouldn't say to run out and get it or anything, but it is a nice brow pencil. Next, I went in with the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blur Skin Tint Stick Foundation. I have a full review and wear test on this on my channel. I already know I love this foundation, and every time I wear this foundation, I get a compliment on my skin. Now let's get into this Tower 28 concealer. If you haven't tried this concealer yet, like I'm telling you right now, just go ahead and get it. This is not a full wear test, but so far, this Tower 28, like I have been wearing this for about 2 hours now. And absolutely no creasing. This concealer is amazing. If you get anything from this video, you need to get this Tower 28 concealer because it's amazing. I tried this Makeup by Mario blush. It's good. When I first applied it, it was looking extra dewy. Like it looked like it wasn't gonna dry down. I did not set this blush. It's the only blush on my skin right now. And I think it looks amazing. I love the shade. So far, so good. You know, this is like my first time wearing it, so I would have to do like a full wear test. But so far, the blush is still there after having it on for about 2 hours now. And it dried down. It applied on top of powder it didn't pick up the makeup underneath. It has a natural matte finish. And I love that about this blush. We have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Palette. When I saw this palette, I'm not gonna lie, like I was hyped. I'm basic, y'all. I am so basic these days when it comes to makeup. Like this I Need a New Palette, it got me so excited, but I was like, will this actually work for me? So that was a concern I had because sometimes, you know, when you see dusty rose or like cool tone shades for dark skin, you never know because sometimes they can pull ashy versus just being cool toned. So from using this palette today and swatching it, I want to say this palette is just genuinely a cool tone palette. Judging by the look I created today, I like it. This is why, guys, I will encourage you to try things for yourself because I watched a few reviews on this palette, you know, a dark-skinned woman reviewing this palette while I was waiting for mine to come in the mail. And I just knew I was gonna return this palette, okay? I was like, yeah, as soon as I get it, I'm gonna return it. But then I was like, you know, I'll just give it a try. And I'm glad I did because I actually like this palette. I went into this knowing that not all the shades would work for my skin tone. If you go into this managing your expectations of like what looks you can achieve with this, you will like this palette. And for me so far, I like this palette and I feel like I will be reaching for it going forward. Now the last thing I tried was this SAIE lip oil. I like this lip oil. It feels good on the lips. The pigmentation is there. I hate the smell. I hate the smell. It smells atrocious, but it's pretty, so I'll deal with it. I like it and I'm gonna keep it. Those are my thoughts on all the new products I tried today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.